Welcome to Here's How We Get There. It's the daily show filled with conversations about business and mental health in a down-to-earth style with real-world language. Now let's dive in with your co-hosts, Kenneth Shark-Kinney and Trey Tucker.
All right, Trey, we're really going to get to the heart of the matter today. We're going to talk about Better Call Saul actor Bob Odenkirk. So he was recently on a podcast. I'm sure it's a fine podcast, probably not as good as this one, of course. Doesn't have the global appeal that this one does. However, Bob Odenkirk suffered a heart attack while filming Better Call Saul in 2021. During this podcast interview, he relayed, and it was eye-opening or ear-opening to a lot of people, but he realized that the conservative doctor, who he thought was a jackass, was right. And he didn't listen to him. He ignored what he thought a right-wing doctor's warnings leading up to his heart attack, and then he had it on the set. And it set a lot of things in motion in his life. But what he just recently acknowledged is, why care about any of that stuff? And I've always been that way. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. I don't need to draw a line. And I understand where some people are with thoughts that we need to help promote things, but it comes down sometimes, do you want to have the right person to do the job, especially when it's a doctor looking at your health, or do you need to recognize something that maybe fits a social or political cause? For me, I don't care. I don't ask those questions at all. I just want to take care of my health. So are you going to listen to your doctor? And do you know whether or not he watches Fox or CNN or MSNBC? Because I don't.
I personally, I need to know what his favorite types of food and beverages are as well, if I'm going to listen.
Exactly.
I mean, so no, it's such a human nature thing. We're guilty of this a lot, where our pride gets in the way and we think, well, this person's different from me, so therefore I'm just going to write them off in my mind, at least on a subconscious level. And really, yes, that is a pride issue. That's a character issue. We've got to be aware of it. But ultimately, it really starts coming from our brain is trying to just efficiently take a task and finish it and move on. So our brain doesn't want to spend a whole lot of energy trying to figure out, okay, should I listen to this person, that person, or whatever? So it uses these rules of thumb, otherwise known the fancy term with, fancy psychology people like me, as the confirmation bias. We see something that guy believes that, so that automatically means these other 50 things about him. Well, that helps our brain to move on to the next task, but it doesn't exactly help, in this case, his heart to keep ticking. So we can't beat ourselves up about it. We certainly shouldn't be judging other people for their prejudices, but we do have to at least shine some light on them, work together to try to figure out, all right, is that first instinct really the one that's wisest?
Yeah, I can't even imagine, let's say that, an EMT came up to rescue him right after he had his heart attack. Does he ask you whether or not you wear a blue jersey or a red jersey?
Right.
I thought it was great. I thought it was great that he admitted it. I wish more people would admit this and understand this. I've always found this, especially from a business standpoint, but from a life standpoint, I listen to all points of view. I don't have to agree with them, but I listen to them. And we've gotten in such a fragmented society now where people don't, draw a line between listening to people they like, know, and trust, and they're in their tribe, and then everybody else is the enemy.
Yep. That's it.
And I want people to be able to just open their ears up and listen to the advice, regardless of who the messenger is or what political views they may support. As long as you're listening to me, it's all that really matters. And I voted for
at least support this show. We don't care about your politics.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining Shark and Trey on the Here's How We Get There show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit here'showwegetthere.com. That's here'showwegetthere.com.